Hey guys, it's Pop Broadwell here. Today we're just going to talk about some of the things that have been happening in the Call of Duty community over the last few weeks. Firstly is something I just want to get right off the bat, right out the way, is rumours that Infinite Warfare are being cancelled. There was a supposed quote-unquote leak, but the article, it kind of looks like them clickbait ones, and it was riddled with like bad grammar and spelling mistakes, and you can imagine I don't believe these claims when this is the only source for them. Plus, it's like 3 years in development, it's months away from release, they're not going to cancel it. Anyway, secondly, is the Infinite Warfare trailer, how many dislikes that got. Like, as of recording now, it is like something stupid, like the, oh god, second most disliked video on YouTube ever, and it managed to get in the top 10 within a week. And I'm just going to quickly talk about why I think this has happened, and I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think it should have happened. It looks really cool. I mean, yeah, the Battlefield one looked cooler. I'm still always going to be a CoD player, but the Battlefield one did look amazing. But basically, why this got so many dislikes is what I like to call weapons grade nostalgia. Everyone is so nostalgic of the past games because they have some weird notion that they were better than the old CODs. And like, basically, to satisfy this, Activision are remastering COD 4. So people who want boots on the ground get boots on the ground. And regardless of that, they hear that Infinite Warfare is going to have advanced movement, and they flip and just start disliking. And then, you know, I think a lot of the comments on the video, like, as well, were just like, I've never even played COD, I'm just disliking this video. So there was loads of piggyback dislikes on the video, and we're just getting loads of dislikes because they said it's going to have advanced movement, and it had a bit with space in. But let me talk about that bit. I think that looks just like a campaign thing. That's not going to be in the multiplayer, which is most people's concern. This is a campaign mission from what it looks like. And the closest we're going to get to that in multiplayer is have maybe like a multiplayer map inside a spaceship, but it's gonna just look like any other factory kind of map. Like, when I think about like the back bits of Gauntlet, before you get into the bits, it's just gonna be something like that where you're inside and it has loads of different levels. It's not gonna be anything wacky. Anyway, moving on. Well, I think that like the issue that this bothers me is that it got this many dislikes mainly because of the people wearing their nostalgia goggles, and they seem to think that COD was better way back when, and it wasn't. It was just the way it always was, and it was like that for many years. Like, I remember when people used to always be like, oh, COD's the same every year, why do you buy a new one every year? But now it's all people want, and you know, when people were saying it's the same every year, they were saying this for years, everyone was saying this, so Activision listened and decided to add like new and interesting game mechanics. And let's be honest, Advanced Warfare, it was a swing and a miss, but I think Treyarch just got it dead on. It's a really nice movement system, nothing's too wacky. I mean, like, the slide can be a bit iffy sometimes, but other than that, I barely even notice that people are jumping around anymore. I just follow and shoot them. You know, it's not this thing that's super bad. It's just like, and I think as well, like, Activision are trying to cater towards people who really want boots on the ground. They've made Black Ops 1 compatible with the Xbox One, and I've gone back and played it, and it's just not as good as I remember it being, because when I did that, you know, there was no infinite sprint, the fast-paced wasn't at this new level, so I used to think it was really good. But now that I sprint around the map, still being able to get the jump on people, you know, it's just completely different. Like, the ADS on Black Ops from a sprint, you're never going to win that gunfight. You're always going to lose that gunfight. And that's just ridiculous. It's supposed to be a fast-paced game, and it didn't have things that helped it feel fast-paced. Like, even firing range kind of felt big. And I don't know, the hit detection obviously wasn't as good, and like latency issues. I think the actual Xbox One is slower to it, and it didn't feel as good. And, you know, like, they're remastering COD 4, so I don't know why people are going to be complaining, because this COD 4 remaster won't be a one-year game. It's going to be something that's around for years, because it's a remaster and it doesn't matter, so people will always be on it. So it's not going to be a one-year game, so people are going to have boots on the ground as long as they want now, and they're going to have it for a while on a game that looks really good and new. So in conclusion of this little bit, I think the trailer got so many dislikes because people are just nostalgic, and when it comes to this, Activision said something that really resonated with me, and it's that it also got record likes in the time that it was than any other reveal trailer. Like, even though the likes are like almost minuscule compared to the dislikes, it got a lot of likes compared to any other reveal trailer and views than any of them have before. And that Black Ops 3 is the most consistently played CoD that has ever been released. As in, like, even now people still like playing it, and I'm just, you know, it's because of a lot of the customization and stuff. But you know, even now, that's like it's still played. And for this last bit, I'm you know, finally. Oh no! Quickly first, they added contracts in Black Ops, which is really good. Which means you do like little challenges to get like supply drops of different types, like weapon bribes and stuff. Lastly, I think my way for Activision to, I don't know, maybe split the difference with the Call of Duty fans, because a lot of people do like advanced movement, myself included. They could maybe do something like smart movement, where maybe they keep some form of wall run and slide or roll, and maybe just keep like the really large mantle heights so that you don't need ladders for like one-story jumps, and maybe make it feel more like parkour than it is boosting and jumping around in an exosuit. And I think that people would really like that. Like, it'd make the game feel a lot more fast-paced, keep the infinite sprint, and maybe, you know, have not a movement system that sort of eclipses the rest of the game. You know, like if you had something like Mirror's Edge feel to it, it would eclipse the rest of the mechanics of the game. But you could have something that's not too dissimilar, that's still really easy to perform. And like, can you imagine if you had like vertical wall runs? You could like wall run, jump, and backflip off, and like maybe get behind someone, and that'd just be so cool, like shooting someone mid-air while doing a cool flip. But that's probably just a pipe dream. But I think going with this maybe more parkour style movement would hit fans a lot better, because I think the issue people have is that it's the future. I'm not sure why they have an issue because it's the future, but they do. And I think the best way to get around this is to maybe have something that isn't futuristic, is just more like a well-trained soldier. So maybe having a soldier that can free run is more believable than having one that has an exosuit with boost jumps. And I think that that might make people feel a lot better towards their movement system. It'd still be fast-paced and new, but then again, I don't exactly get coverage, so Activision never going to see this. But I think that that would be a really good idea. Anyway, guys, that is all we have time for today. That's just a quick update on what's been happening in the CoD community. It's been I, Broadwell. I'll see you guys later.